Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will show you how to track HubSpot Form Submissions that come from LinkedIn ads using Google Tag Manager. I will structure this video into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to show you how to set up the conversion tracking in LinkedIn. And in the second part of this video, I will show you how to do the setup for the trigger in Google Tag Manager. If you're new to this channel, please like the video and subscribe so you get notified when I add new content. Okay, let's get started. First, some context. It is a very common scenario for websites to use HubSpot forms for tracking conversions. And a conversion could be a contact form submission, a download form, or a demo form. Typically, there are two different tracks for sending traffic to the website: paid and organic. Of course, other channels can play a role as well, but I will keep it simple. Regardless of the source of the traffic, paid or organic, all the forms will be HubSpot forms, so all the conversions will be tracked with HubSpot forms. In this scenario, you want to track submissions coming from both paid and organic, but you want to have these tracked as separate conversions, so that you understand which of your channels performs better. Also, it is very common for all the tracking to happen in Google Analytics. Now with GA4, you can still track conversions using Google Tag Manager to keep everything organized. So for this tutorial, you will need to get access to LinkedIn paid ads, to HubSpot forms, and to Google Tag Manager. In Campaign Manager, you will create the ads that will send people to your website. And you want to know which HubSpot forms were submitted by people coming from this paid traffic. As I said, all your forms will be HubSpot forms. Finally, Tag Manager will track all these form submissions in GA4. Let's start with Campaign Manager. As you can see now on my screen, I am in LinkedIn Campaign Manager. And if I want to create conversions or track conversions, I have to go to Analyze, Conversion Tracking. As you can see, I already have two different conversions created. I will show you only one of them, but the principle is the same. As I said, the flow of events is as follows. When a user sees a paid ad on LinkedIn and clicks to go to your website, the LinkedIn tracking code that is installed on your website will track that activity. And once the user submits a form on the website, a form success event is triggered. With this setup, you can correctly track and attribute conversions that come from LinkedIn ads. To be able to track these conversions, you need to install the Insight tag on your website. And you can do this using Tag Manager. I will not show you how to do that in this video, but you can find the instructions if you click on Tag Manager and follow the step-by-step process. Going back to conversion tracking, the first step here is to click on Create Conversion and choose Insight Tag Conversion. I will give this one a name and say Thank you page demo form. And here the event that I want to track will be, let's say, request quote. Next, I'm going to choose Tag Manager. And if you scroll down, you see that I have here my partner ID. And then I need to choose event specific. And I'm going to get a conversion ID as well. I will need both these IDs or both these codes for the setup in Google Tag Manager. So make sure to keep the screen open until you finish with the setup in GTM. Now let's go to Tag Manager. To track a new conversion, you need to go to Tags and click Create New. I've already created this tag, so I will just show you how it works. First, tag configuration, you need to select the LinkedIn Insight tag. And you will be asked to add your partner ID and your conversion ID. You get this from the previous screen, from LinkedIn. Then the trigger will be a HubSpot form success. We will set up this trigger in the second part of the video. So for now, you can add the first part and just save. Now we will go to the second part of the video and we will set up the trigger for the HubSpot form submission. Although some CMSs have built-in integrations with HubSpot and allow you to directly track form submissions without additional implementation, if you use Webflow or even WordPress, you might not be able to automatically track conversions. So even if you're using a thank you page after the form submission, the conversion won't be tracked correctly. To track a HubSpot form submission, we will need two things. One is an event listener, or a piece of code that listens to what happens on the website and notifies GTM when a form submission is triggered. And then the second thing is the trigger itself, so the actual action that triggers the form submission event. So when a HubSpot form is submitted by the user, the trigger will notify GTM that this action happened. And in response, GTM will register the successful form submission event. First, we will set up the event listener. However, before we do this, we need to make sure that you do have the tracking code of HubSpot installed on your website. So to do this, you need to go to Google Tag Manager, Tags, and here you see that I already have the HubSpot tracking code added. But if I didn't have it, I would go to New and then click to create a new tag. I will show you what this includes. It's basically just a custom HTML tag, and it includes the code that comes from HubSpot. In HubSpot, you will find this code by going to your settings, tracking code, and then just copy-pasting this code. This is what you will add in Google Tag Manager in the tag configuration using a custom HTML block. It is good practice to give this a clear name, so I just named it HubSpot tracking code. The trigger in this case will be all the pages. So I want to notify HubSpot whenever users view any page. Okay, now we have the HubSpot tracking code installed, so we can set up the form listener. Again, you need to click on Add New, so to create a new tag, and I will show you the configuration for this specific tag. For this tag, I'm using a custom HTML block again and a custom piece of code. I will add this code under the video so that you can directly copy-paste it. Again, the trigger is page views for all the pages. Click Save, and you're done. Now we need to create the trigger. So I'm going to move to Triggers, and I will create a success form trigger. So we know that HubSpot now listens to the website, and we can now create the trigger that will notify GTM when a form is submitted. So for this purpose, I'm creating a custom event. Again, the name will be simple, Trigger HubSpot Form Success. And for the event name here inside the trigger configuration, you need to add HubSpot Form Success, exactly how it's written here. And the trigger will fire on all custom events. Click Save and you are done. Now, you might have multiple HubSpot forms on your website, so you might want to know which exactly form was submitted by each user. You can do this with the form ID. If I go back to my form listener, under Tags, you can see that the form ID is included in this event. So I need to pass this variable with the form submission. For this, we need to set up a custom variable. So I'm going to go here to Variables, and again, click to create a new one, but I already have it set up, so I will just show you how it works. First, go to User-Defined Variables. Click New. And in my case, the variable is called Data Layer Variable HubSpot Form ID. So in the configuration, select Data Layer Variable and then give it this name, exactly how it's written here. Click Save and we can move on. One more step. Now we need to go back to Tags and to create the event that will send this data layer variable to GA4. So let's create a new tag and name it HubSpot Form Success. This time it is a GA4 event, so not the LinkedIn event that we've set up previously. Click on Configuration first and select GA4 event. Then add your measurement ID, which can be found by going to your GA4 account to admin, and then in Property Settings, Data Collection, Data Streams, and then you can click on your website name and get the ID. The event name needs to be generate lead, exactly how it's written here. And for event parameters, add form ID and then the variable that we've created previously, data layer variable, the HubSpot Form ID. The trigger in this case will be the HubSpot Form Success. We've created this trigger already, so just click and select it. Again, click Save, and you are done here. After you have the trigger for the HubSpot Form Success set up, remember to go back to the LinkedIn event HubSpot contact form or any form that you want to track, and add that trigger at the bottom. And now there's one more thing that we need to do, and that is to submit all the changes so that we can correctly track everything on the website. So click here, Submit. Give this a name that is descriptive to help you remember what exactly you added to GTM. So for example, you could name it LinkedIn Conversion Tracking or HubSpot LinkedIn Conversion Tracking. Okay, that is it. Now you can successfully track form conversions that originate in LinkedIn ads using Google Tag Manager. However, there's one more thing. If you do not have GA4 installed on your website using GTM, you can do that now. Go again to Tags and create a new tag that is called GA4 config. Here in the tag ID field, you will need to add again the measurement ID that you had from your GA4 account. So first select the tag type as Google Tag and initiate it in all the pages. That's it. I hope you found this useful. Please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when I add new content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.